Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the EDI Jester. Settle down, boys and girls. Poetry time. Everybody will know about the Boyne incident, as I call it now. Yeah, right. So John Boyne, who was the decent chap that did the apology to Glinner that I covered, has written a poem. Well done, John. So I said, should we have the poem read? And it seems that was a popular idea amongst people. So I'm going to go and give it a go. Poetry is not the easiest things in the world to read. You must acknowledge that, right? But I'm going to give it a try anyway, because he's written it and I think it's cracking. Become a warrior teacher, buy me a coffee, the usual stuff. It's called The Ballad of Owen Jones. He's aged 39 and a quarter. I do not like thee, Owen Jones. Your face appears on screens and phones and television far too much. You think you have the common touch. And decent folk agree with you on everything you say or do. Perhaps today, or in due course, you might descend from your high horse. I do not like thee, Owen Jones. I don't think anyone condones your tweeting morning, noon and night. You're criticising left and right. Sometimes it seems you just abuse those people who hold different views. A member of the Fourth Estate should welcome reasoned, sound debate. Like Hadley Freeman, Susan Moore, who you assisted out the door, of course you say they'd had a choice. They didn't have to use their voice. These women with their endless shrieking, why can't they stop when men are speaking? Make tea and coffee, rear their progeny, and not accuse you of misogyny. Glorious. And as for evil, J.K. Rowling, who daily has to deal with trolling. Superb. Excellent. Standing up for women's rights. Enraging, crazy troglodytes who tweet and scream abuse that she won't toe the line, won't bend the knee. She's richer than a lottery winner, but does she cook her husband's dinner? I do not like thee, Owen Jones. I don't think anybody owns the right to say I know what's best. I really would be quite impressed if just for once you realised that women won't be terrorised by incels' sexual frustration or daily threats of cancellation. And so you understand this fully. I'm not implying you're a bully. I know those charges didn't stick. You're just a bit impolitic. And no one can suggest you're rude to women with an attitude. On Twitter, time and time again, you just respond to boys and men. But understand, it's quite annoying and even sort of soul-destroying to watch you stoke disunity among a proud community. Of L and G and B and T, you certainly don't speak for me. This might distress you or amaze. You're not the king of all the gays. I won't deny you're quite astute, or that you once were kind of cute. I'd take you for a beer next week if you agreed just not to speak. But when you're tweeting, bear in mind, you're just the type to scream, be kind. So please stop hurling sticks and stones. Then I might like thee, Owen Jones. Isn't that glorious? Oh, John, thank you for that. I found that most exciting. And I do love a nice bit of sort of satirical, fun poetry like John has given us there, which I think is well worth a look. So I'll put the links to the tweet where John put it out in the Dubris, so that you can have a look and see what you think. And I'm sure there's more of John's writings that's worth a look as well. So you can see from his tweet what John gets up to. And yeah, I do like it. Wonderful. Owen Jones, right? So I thought, well, that's all right then. We'll read a bit of your poetry. Oh, okay, we'll have a go at your poetry. Don't mind it, yeah? Well done, John. So I thought we'd have a go at a bit of mine. I used to like writing poetry years ago. So this is over 20 years old, but I wrote it. So I thought you might find it interesting. So I'm going to read you a bit of my poetry now, on top of reading you a bit of John's. I know that's... Go on, yes, I know. I've got delusions of grandeur. Shut up. I don't care. So I'm going to read you a bit of my poetry, which I wrote when I was musing. And it's called I Wish I Was Neil Armstrong. Right? And it goes something like this. I wish I were Neil Armstrong, flying to the moon. I wish I were Neil Armstrong. I hope it happens soon. If I were Neil Armstrong, I'd walk on lunar soil. If I were Neil Armstrong, I'd be weightless, wrapped in foil. If I were Neil Armstrong, I'd be famous everywhere. If I were Neil Armstrong, I'd be rich beyond compare. But all of this is useless unless you all agree. I should go down in history for one thing. Can't you see? If I were Neil Armstrong, wouldn't that be it? 'Cause I would be the first man who ever took a lunar shit. See, I can't help myself. I find myself amusing. Leave me alone. Well, so what? So there we go, right? Okay? We love a bit of poetry. Well done, John. I think it's cracking, right? It was good fun. See, this is satire, humour, right? There's a number of things that people are doing on the satire and humour front. That's how you deal with these bloody Muppets. We need it. We need the humour. We need the satire. So keep it going, folks. Come on. Let's keep the good stuff going. I know it gets grinding at times, but let's keep it going. I've got a lot of work to do. I've got loads to do. So I'm going to see you later because I've got warrior teachers to teach. Come and be one. All right. So have a grand time, folks. And I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed our small poetic interlude today. And my thanks to not only John, but also myself. I'll see you later, peeps. Bye-bye.